First contact and misconceptions. The vast expanse of space stretched out before the Galactic Confederation's flagship, the Celestial Harmony. Its sleek, crystalline hull gleamed in the light of distant stars as it approached the Sol system. On the bridge, Admiral Zixnera, a tall, willowy being with iridescent skin, gazed at the holographic display of Earth with a mixture of curiosity and disdain. So this is the homeworld of the species that's been making waves across the sector. Zixnera mused, her multifaceted eyes scanning the blue and green orb. It looks unremarkable. Her second-in-command, Commander Vex, a stocky creature with 4 arms and an exoskeleton, chuckled. Indeed, Admiral. Our initial scans show a planet with mild climate variations and a predominantly nitrogen-oxygen atmosphere. Hardly the crucible of evolution one would expect for a species gaining such notoriety. As the Celestial Harmony entered Earth's orbit, the crew of the alien vessel prepared for their first official contact with humanity. The Galactic Confederation had been observing Earth for decades, watching as humans took their first tentative steps into space. Now, with the recent activation of humanity's first faster-than-light drive, it was time to formally welcome, or perhaps warn, the newcomers to the galactic stage. Down on Earth, in the bustling heart of New Geneva, the United Earth Government's capital, tension filled the air. Dr. Samantha Chen, Earth's foremost xenolinguist and diplomat, stood before a panel of world leaders, her heart racing with excitement and apprehension. "Ladies and gentlemen," she began, her voice steady despite her nerves, "in less than an hour, we will make first contact with an advanced alien civilization. This is the moment humanity has been waiting for, dreaming of, and preparing for throughout our entire history." The room buzzed with a mixture of excitement and fear. Some leaders saw this as an opportunity for advancement, while others worried about the potential threats an alien civilization might pose. "Dr. Chen," the Secretary General spoke up, "you've studied the transmissions we intercepted. What can we expect from these beings?" Samantha took a deep breath. "Based on our analysis, the Galactic Confederation appears to be a loose alliance of multiple species. They seem to value order, technological advancement, and a certain level of homogeneity among their member species. However, we should be prepared for anything. Our history, our struggles, our diversity. These are unique aspects of humanity that they may not understand or appreciate." As the leaders debated strategy, a young military officer named Captain Jack Harper listened intently. Unlike many in the room, Harper had a unique perspective on humanity's place in the universe. Growing up in the harsh Australian outback, he had learned firsthand the resilience required to survive in extreme conditions. "With all due respect," Harper interjected, his voice cutting through the chatter, "I think we're overlooking something crucial. These aliens, advanced as they may be, have no idea what it means to be human. They haven't faced the challenges we've overcome. Our history isn't just a story of technological progress. It's a testament to our ability to survive and thrive against all odds." The room fell silent, all eyes turning to the young captain. Samantha felt a spark of hope at his words. This was the spirit of humanity she hoped to convey to their alien visitors. As the designated time approached, Samantha, along with a carefully selected team including Captain Harper, made their way to the chosen landing site, a sprawling plaza in the heart of New Geneva. A crowd had gathered behind safety barriers, a mix of anticipation and fear palpable in the air. The sky shimmered, and suddenly, the massive form of the Celestial Harmony appeared, its crystalline structure catching the sunlight and casting prismatic patterns across the plaza. A hush fell over the crowd as a smaller craft detached from the mothership and began its descent. Samantha straightened her back, taking slow, calming breaths. Beside her, Captain Harper stood at attention, his eyes fixed on the approaching vessel. This was it, the moment that would shape the future of humanity. The alien craft landed with barely a whisper, its advanced technology allowing for a perfectly smooth touchdown. A doorway materialized in its seamless hull, and out stepped Admiral Zixnera, flanked by Commander Vex and a retinue of other alien species, each more bizarre than the last. Zixnera approached the human delegation, her movements graceful yet slightly awkward in Earth's gravity. She raised a hand in what she hoped was a universal gesture of peace. "Greetings, humans of Earth," she spoke, her words translated by an advanced device. "I am Admiral Zixnera of the Galactic Confederation. We come in peace to welcome you to the greater galactic community." Samantha stepped forward, mirroring the alien's gesture. "Welcome to Earth, Admiral Zixnera. I am Dr. Samantha Chen, and on behalf of humanity, we are honored by your presence." As the formal introductions continued, Captain Harper couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The way the aliens carried themselves, the subtle expressions of what he assumed was surprise or even disappointment, it all hinted at preconceived notions about humanity. His suspicions were confirmed when Commander Vex, perhaps less diplomatically inclined than his superior, spoke up. "We must admit we expected more from the species that has caused such a stir in our sector. Your world seems rather comfortable." A murmur ran through the crowd. Samantha maintained her composure, but Harper saw her jaw tighten slightly. "Comfortable, Commander? In what way?" Zixnera shot Vex a warning glance but decided to elaborate. "What my colleague means is that, given the reports of your species' rapid advancement and, shall we say, aggressive expansion tendencies, we expected a more hostile environment. Your planet's conditions seem hardly challenging enough to produce such a driven species." Harper couldn't contain himself any longer. He stepped forward, ignoring protocol. "With respect, Admiral, you're looking at our world through alien eyes. What you see as comfortable, we see as a hard-won victory over an environment that has challenged us at every turn." Zixnera's multifaceted eyes blinked in surprise. "Challenged? But your atmosphere is breathable, your gravity manageable, your climate zones varied, but not extreme. Compared to many worlds in the Confederation, Earth is practically a paradise." Samantha, recovering quickly, decided to support Harper's approach. "Admiral, Commander, perhaps we could give you a tour of our world. There's much more to Earth and humanity than what you see in this carefully prepared meeting ground." The aliens exchanged glances, then nodded in agreement. As the diplomatic team led the visitors towards a waiting transport, Harper fell in step beside Samantha. "Do you think they'll understand?" he whispered. Samantha's lips curved in a small smile. "They'll have to. Because if they don't understand our past and our world, they'll never be prepared for what humanity is capable of in the future." As the human and alien delegations boarded the transport, neither group fully realized the profound impact this meeting would have on the galaxy. The aliens, with their preconceived notions of what made a species strong, were about to learn that humanity's greatest strength lay not in the harshness of their world, but in their unbreakable spirit and their ability to thrive in the face of adversity. The celestial harmony hung in orbit, a silent witness to the unfolding events below. In the coming days, both humans and aliens would have their assumptions challenged, their perspectives shifted, and their understanding of the universe forever altered. For humanity, it was the dawn of a new era, one that would test their resilience, ingenuity, and the very essence of what it meant to be human. Little did the Galactic Confederation know, they had just made first contact with a species that would soon reshape the very fabric of galactic society. The story of humanity's rise among the stars was about to begin, and it would be a tale that would echo across the cosmos for eons to come. The Galactic Challenge. The sleek Earth transport glided over diverse landscapes, its transparent dome offering the alien delegation an unobstructed view of the planet's varied terrains. Admiral Zixnera and Commander Vex sat in silent observation, their preconceptions about Earth slowly eroding with each passing kilometer. Dr. Samantha Chen's voice filled the cabin, a mix of pride and determination in her tone. "As you can see, Admiral, Earth is far from uniform. We have deserts that can scorch the unprepared, frozen tundras that challenge our technology, and everything in between. Captain Jack Harper, seated opposite the aliens, added, "And these are just the natural challenges. Our history is filled with self-imposed trials that have forged us into who we are today." The transport descended towards a sprawling facility nestled in the Rocky Mountains. This, Samantha explained, is the Global Resilience Academy. It's where we train our best and brightest to face any challenge the universe might throw at us. As they disembarked, the cool mountain air filled their lungs. The alien visitors visibly tensed, their bodies adjusting to the thin atmosphere and lower temperatures. Harper couldn't help but smile slightly at their discomfort. The Academy's director, a stern-looking woman named Dr. Elara Frost, greeted them at the entrance. "Welcome to where we turn humans into survivors," she said, her eyes glinting with a hardness that made even the aliens take notice. Inside, they witnessed a series of simulations that left the alien delegation in stunned silence. Humans navigated treacherous terrains, solved complex problems under extreme stress, and demonstrated an uncanny ability to adapt to rapidly changing situations. "Impressive," Zixnera admitted, her earlier skepticism fading. "But surely these are your elite. What of your average citizens?" Samantha and Harper exchanged knowing glances. "Perhaps it's time we showed them Station Omega," Samantha suggested. Harper nodded in agreement. As they prepared to leave, alarms suddenly blared throughout the facility. Dr. Frost's communicator crackled to life. "Unidentified object entering Earth's atmosphere at high velocity. Impact imminent." The alien delegation watched in fascination as the humans sprang into action. There was no panic, only a well-coordinated response to a potential crisis. Within minutes, the transport was airborne again, this time headed towards the projected impact site. "Is this a common occurrence on your world?" Commander Vex asked, a note of concern in his voice. "Common enough that we're always prepared," Harper replied grimly. "Earth has faced its share of cosmic bombardments. We've learned to be ready for anything." The transport arrived at the impact site, a remote area in the Siberian wilderness. What they found was not a natural object, but an alien probe, its design unlike anything in the Galactic Confederation's database. As Earth scientists began to analyze the probe, Admiral Zixnera received an urgent communication from the Celestial Harmony. "Admiral," her first officer reported, "we're detecting multiple anomalies throughout the sector. It appears Earth wasn't the only target." The implications hung heavy in the air. This was no isolated incident, but a coordinated action by an unknown force. The Galactic Confederation, for all its advanced technology and numerous member species, found itself facing an unprecedented threat. Zixnera turned to the human delegation, her earlier condescension replaced by a grudging respect. "It seems we may have underestimated not just your species, but the challenges that lurk in the dark corners of our galaxy. We request Earth's assistance in addressing this threat." The humans were taken aback. Here was an advanced alien civilization, one that had initially looked down on humanity, now asking for their help. It was a pivotal moment, one that could define humanity's place in the galactic community. Samantha, ever the diplomat, stepped forward. "Admiral, humanity has always believed in facing challenges head-on and in the spirit of cooperation. We would be honored to assist the Galactic Confederation in any way we can." Harper, however, saw an opportunity. But he interjected, "We need to be clear about our role. We're not just another member species to be ordered about. If we're to face this threat together, it must be as equals." Zixnera's multifaceted eyes narrowed, but she nodded in agreement. "Very well. We shall return to the Celestial Harmony and establish a joint command to address this crisis. Your leaders are welcome aboard our vessel." As preparations were made for the human delegation to join the alien flagship, the probe they had recovered suddenly sprang to life. A holographic message flickered into existence, displaying a being unlike any they had ever seen. "Inhabitants of the galaxy," the being spoke, its voice a discordant melody that sent chills down everyone's spine. We are the Void Collective. For too long, we have watched your civilization spread like a plague across the stars. It is time for a cleansing. Prepare yourselves, for the Void comes to reclaim what is ours. The message ended, leaving behind a stunned silence. The threat was real, immediate, and on a scale beyond anything humanity or the Galactic Confederation had faced before. Aboard the Celestial Harmony, an emergency council was convened. Representatives from various Confederation species argued and debated, their voices rising in fear and confusion. Humanity, represented by Samantha, Harper, and a select group of Earth's leaders, observed the chaos with growing concern. Enough. Zixnera's voice cut through the din. We cannot afford to bicker among ourselves. This Void Collective threatens us all. We must stand united. A Confederation tactician, a reptilian being named Salik, hissed in frustration. United how? Our long-range scans show Void Collective forces amassing at the edges of our territory. They possess technology that rivals or even surpasses our own. How can we hope to defeat such an enemy? All eyes turned to the human delegation. Samantha stepped forward, her voice calm but resolute. With respect, members of the Confederation, you're thinking about this the wrong way. Advanced technology alone doesn't win wars. It's the will to survive, the ability to adapt, and the courage to face impossible odds that truly matter. Harper joined her, his military training evident in his bearing. Humanity has faced extinction-level threats throughout our history, not just natural disasters, but conflicts of our own making. Each time, we've emerged stronger, more resilient. We don't just survive, we thrive in adversity. The alien representatives murmured among themselves, a mix of skepticism and hope in their voices. Zixnera, who had seen firsthand the potential of humanity, raised her hand for silence. Perhaps, she said, it's time we learned from our new allies. Humans, what do you propose? Samantha looked to Harper, who nodded and stepped forward. We propose a multi-pronged approach. First, we need to understand our enemy. That probe we recovered. We need to study it, learn everything we can about Void Collective technology. Second, he continued, we need to prepare for unconventional warfare. The Void Collective may have advanced tech, but if they've never faced a species like humanity, they won't be prepared for our tactics. And third, Samantha added, we need to unite not just militarily, but culturally. Each species in this confederation has its strengths. We need to learn from each other, combine our knowledge and skills in ways the Void Collective won't expect. The council chamber buzzed with renewed energy. For the first time since the crisis began, there was a sense of hope, of purpose. The Galactic Confederation, with all its advanced technology and diverse member species, was beginning to see humanity not as a primitive newcomer, but as a valuable ally with unique perspectives and abilities. As the Council adjourned to begin implementing the human-inspired strategy, Zixnera approached Samantha and Harper privately. I must admit, she said, her voice low, I had my doubts about your species. But seeing you in action, hearing your ideas, perhaps there is more to strength than advanced technology and comfortable worlds. Harper smiled, a glint of determination in his eyes. Admiral, humanity has a saying, smooth seas do not make skilled sailors. Our history, our struggles, even the conflicts among ourselves, they've all prepared us for this moment. The Void Collective may think they're facing a galaxy of separate, easily conquered civilizations. Instead, they're about to face a united front, led by a species that has turned survival into an art form. As they gazed out at the stars through the Celestial Harmony's viewport, the enormity of the challenge ahead weighed heavily on them all. The Void Collective was coming, bringing with it a threat unlike any the galaxy had ever seen. But for the first time, the Galactic Confederation felt a glimmer of real hope. In the days that followed, the combined forces of humanity and the Confederation raced against time. Earth opened its archives, sharing knowledge of guerrilla warfare, asymmetric conflicts, and the ingenious solutions humans had developed to overcome technologically superior foes throughout history. The aliens, in turn, provided humanity with advanced technology, rapidly accelerating Earth's scientific progress. Training facilities like the Global Resilience Academy became melting pots of interspecies cooperation. Humans taught aliens how to survive in hostile environments without relying on technology, while alien instructors introduced humans to the intricacies of advanced galactic weaponry. As the first reports of Void Collective incursions reached the celestial harmony, the newly forged alliance prepared to face its first real test. The galaxy held its breath, watching as humanity stepped onto the galactic stage not as newcomers, but as the potential saviors of civilization itself. The void was coming, but humanity and its new allies were ready to show the universe that true strength comes not from unchallenged dominance, but from the will to persevere against all odds. The battle for the galaxy was about to begin, and at its heart stood a species that had spent its entire existence preparing for this very moment. Humans unleashed. The vast emptiness of space erupted into chaos as the first wave of Void Collective ships tore through the fabric of reality. Their vessels, dark and ominous, seemed to absorb the very light of nearby stars. The Galactic Confederation's border outposts, despite their advanced warning systems, found themselves overwhelmed within minutes. Aboard the Celestial Harmony, now the central command for the United Defense Forces, alarms blared as reports of the invasion flooded in. Admiral Zixnera, her iridescent skin pale with stress, stood before a holographic display of the battlefield. The team Harper assembled was a testament to the new cooperation between humanity and the Galactic Confederation. Maya Rodriguez, fresh from her successful intelligence-gathering mission, signed on as his second-in-command. Crix and Zorn, having proven their worth, joined as well. Rounding out the team were Lyrax, a Confederation weapons specialist with 4 arms and unparalleled accuracy, and Dr. Ilara Frost from the Global Resilience Academy, whose expertise in extreme environments would prove invaluable. As they prepared to embark on their mission, Samantha approached Harper. "Jack," she said, her voice tinged with concern, "this mission, the odds of success." Harper placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "Sam, do you remember what I told you about growing up in the outback? Every day was a fight for survival. But it taught me something crucial. There's no such thing as impossible odds, only opportunities for the bold." Samantha nodded, a mix of pride and worry in her eyes. "Just come back, okay? Earth is going to need you when this is all over." With a final nod, Harper boarded the specially modified stealth ship. As the vessel slipped away from the Celestial Harmony, cloaked and running silent, the weight of the entire galaxy's fate seemed to rest on its hull. The journey to the Void Collective staging area was fraught with tension. The team navigated through enemy-controlled space, relying on a combination of advanced Confederation stealth technology and old-fashioned human skill to avoid detection. As they approached their target, the true scale of the Void Collective's operation became apparent. A massive space station hung in the void, surrounded by swarms of ships and strange, organic-looking structures that pulse with otherworldly energy. "By the cosmos," Lyrax whispered, all 4 of his hands tightening on his weapon. "How are we supposed to take on something like that?" Harper's eyes scanned the station, looking for weaknesses. The same way humanity has always faced overwhelming odds, with courage, creativity, and a hell of a lot of luck. Using the intelligence gathered by Maya's team, they identified a blind spot in the station's defenses, a maintenance airlock rarely used and lightly guarded. With expert precision, their ship docked silently, and the team slipped aboard. Inside, the station was a nightmarish blend of advanced technology and organic matter. Corridors pulsed with an eerie violet light, and the air itself seemed to whisper with malevolent intent. Dr. Frost, her scientific curiosity piqued despite the danger, took readings as they moved. "This entire structure," she murmured, It's not just a station. It's alive somehow. Stay focused, Harper warned. We need to find the central control node and plant our payload. As they delved deeper into the heart of the station, they encountered scattered resistance. The Void Collective soldiers, up close, were even more terrifying than reports had suggested. Their forms shifted and warped, as if they weren't fully part of reality. In one harrowing encounter, the team found themselves cornered in a large chamber, surrounded by Void troops. It was Crix who saved them, using his mimetic abilities to create illusions that confused and scattered their attackers. Remind me to thank whatever cosmic joke gave your species those abilities, Maya quipped as they slipped away. Finally, they'd reached the central control node, a massive, pulsating organ-like structure that seemed to be the heart of the entire station. Zorn immediately set to work, interfacing with the alien systems to plant their payload, a virus designed to disrupt the Void Collective's terraforming efforts and throw their entire invasion into chaos. As Zorn worked, Harper and the others held off waves of Void defenders. The battle was intense, with each member of the team pushing their skills to the limit. Lyrax's 4 arms became a blur as he fired in multiple directions simultaneously. Dr. Frost used her knowledge of extreme environments to manipulate the station's atmospheric controls, creating zones of intense cold that slowed the Void soldiers. Just as it seemed they might be overwhelmed, Zorn's voice rang out. It's done. The virus is uploaded. Then let's get the hell out of here, Harper ordered. Their escape was a mad dash through increasingly unstable corridors. The station, reacting to the virus, began to convulse and warp around them. They reached their ship just as entire sections of the station began to collapse in on themselves. As they sped away, the massive Void structure imploded in a spectacular burst of energy. The shockwave rocked their small vessel, but Harper's skilled piloting kept them intact. Did we just do that? Lyrax asked, his voice filled with awe. Harper allowed himself a grim smile. We did. And if I'm right, we've just changed the course of this war. As they made their way back to friendly space, reports began to flood in. All across the front lines, Void Collective forces were falling into disarray. Their terraforming efforts had been halted, and their communication networks were in chaos. When they finally docked with the Celestial Harmony, they were greeted as heroes. Admiral Zixnera herself was there to meet them, her usual composure replaced by open admiration. Captain Harper, she said, her voice filled with respect. You and your team have accomplished the impossible. You've given us a fighting chance. As news of their success spread, a new energy infused the Allied forces. The Void Collective, once seen as an unstoppable force, had been proven vulnerable. More importantly, the success of this mixed human-alien team demonstrated the true power of their newfound alliance. In the aftermath of the mission, as strategies were redrawn and new offensives planned, Harper found a moment alone with Samantha. You know, he said, looking out at the stars, I used to think humanity's greatest strength was our ability to survive against all odds. But now I see it's something more. It's our ability to inspire others to do the same. Samantha nodded, a proud smile on her face. We've always been explorers, dreamers. Now we're showing the galaxy that no challenge is too great when we stand together. As they gazed out at the vast expanse of space, both knew that the war was far from over. The Void Collective had been bloodied, but not defeated. Yet for the first time since the invasion began, there was a tangible sense of hope throughout the Ally fleet. Humanity had been unleashed upon the galactic stage, and the universe would never be the same. Alien allies and adversaries. The success of Harper's mission had shifted the tide of the war, but the Void Collective was far from defeated. As the Allied forces pushed forward, reclaiming lost territories and liberating conquered worlds, they encountered both unexpected challenges and surprising opportunities. On the bridge of the Celestial Harmony, now the centerpiece of a growing armada, Admiral Zixnera presided over a council of war. Representatives from dozens of species, once bitter rivals, now stood united against the common threat. At the forefront stood the human delegation, their recent victories having earned them a place of honor. The Void Collective is adapting to our tactics, Zixnera began, her iridescent skin shimmering with tension. They're learning from their defeats, evolving their strategies. Captain Jack Harper, now promoted to colonel for his heroic actions, stepped forward. Then we need to stay one step ahead. We can't let them dictate the pace of this war. Dr. Samantha Chen, her role as diplomat now expanded to include strategic planning, nodded in agreement. We need to understand them better. Not just their technology, but their motivations. Why are they so intent on reshaping our galaxy? A murmur ran through the assembled aliens. Understanding the enemy had never been a priority for the Confederation. Overwhelming force had always been their strategy of choice. Selleck, the reptilian tactician, hissed in frustration. What does it matter why they fight? They are here, they are a threat, and they must be destroyed. Samantha held her ground. Know your enemy and know yourself, and you need not fear the result of 100 battles, she quoted. It's an ancient Earth saying, and it's as true now as it was millennia ago. Harper backed her up. The more we understand about the Void Collective, the better we can predict their moves and counter their strategies. Zixnera, who had come to trust the human perspective, made her decision. Very well. We'll form a special task force dedicated to studying and understanding the Void Collective. Dr. Chen, I'd like you to lead this effort. As the meeting adjourned, a young Confederation officer rushed in, his tendrils quivering with excitement. Admiral, we've received a transmission from within void-controlled space. The holographic display flickered to life, revealing a being unlike any they had seen before. Its form was vaguely humanoid, but composed of swirling energy patterns that constantly shifted and changed. Greetings, allies of the light. The being spoke, its voice resonating oddly in their minds rather than their ears. I am Xylvax, leader of the Luminary Resistance. We seek your aid in our fight against the Void Collective. The revelation that there was an organized resistance within Void territory sent shockwaves through the Allied forces. It opened up new possibilities, but also new risks. Harper, ever the tactical thinker, saw the potential immediately. This could be our chance to open up a second front, hit the Void from within their own territory. Samantha, however, urged caution. We need to verify their claims first. This could be a trap. Zixnera nodded, her multifaceted eyes narrowing in thought. Agreed. We'll send a small team to make contact and assess the situation. Colonel Harper, I want you to lead this mission. As Harper assembled his team, including Maya Rodriguez and a select group of specialists from various Confederation species, Samantha threw herself into her new role. She pored over every scrap of intelligence they had gathered on the Void Collective, looking for patterns, searching for insights. Days later, as Harper's team prepared to embark on their high-risk mission into Void territory, Samantha made a breakthrough. She burst onto the bridge of the Celestial Harmony, her eyes wide with excitement and fear. Admiral, I think I've figured it out, she gasped. The Void Collective. They're not invaders. They're refugees. The stunned silence that followed was broken by Zixnera's incredulous voice. Refugees? How is that possible? Samantha called up a series of holographic displays, showing data patterns and energy readings. Look at these readings from their terraforming technology. It's not just changing planets. It's trying to recreate specific conditions. Conditions that don't exist anywhere in our galaxy. She continued, her voice gaining strength as she explained. I think the Void Collective comes from a dying universe. They're not trying to conquer our galaxy. They're trying to transform it into a place where they can survive. The implications were staggering. The enemy they had been fighting wasn't driven by conquest or malice, but by desperation and the primal drive to survive. As this information was relayed to Harper's team, already en route to meet the Luminary Resistance, it added a new layer of complexity to their mission. They were no longer just assessing potential allies. They were potentially making first contact with a species fighting for its very existence. Harper's ship, cloaked and running silent, slipped through void-controlled space. The team was on edge, knowing that detection could mean instant destruction. As they approached the coordinates provided by Xylvax, they found themselves in a region of space that defied description. Reality itself seemed to warp and twist around them. "By the cosmos," Maya whispered, her hand steady on the controls despite her awe. "What is this place?" Before Harper could respond, their ship was enveloped in a field of swirling energy. For a heart-stopping moment, they thought they had been caught. Then, a familiar voice resonated in their minds. "Welcome, allies of the light." Xylvax's mental voice greeted them. "You have entered the Nexus, the last bastion of resistance against the Void's madness." As their ship was guided to a docking bay, unlike anything they had ever seen, Harper and his team prepared themselves for a first contact situation that could change the course of the war. The beings they encountered defied easy description. Like Xylvax, they were composed of swirling energy patterns, their forms constantly shifting and changing. Communication was challenging at first, relying more on empathic impressions than words. Xylvax, appearing before them as a vaguely humanoid shape of golden light, explained their situation. "We are the last of the luminaries, beams of pure energy from a universe in its final stages of entropy. The Void. They were once like us, but in their desperation to survive, they embraced the darkness between realities." Harper, his mind reeling from the implications, pressed for more information. "And now they're trying to transform our galaxy to save themselves." Xylvax's form pulsed with sadness. "Yes, but in doing so, they will destroy all that exists here. We luminaries believe there is another way, a way to coexist, to blend our energies with your matter-based universe without destroying it." As Harper's team gathered information and forged tentative alliances with the luminary resistance, Samantha was presenting their findings to the Allied Council back on the Celestial Harmony. "We're not just fighting an invading force," she explained to the assembled representatives. "We're witnessing a cosmic tragedy, two forms of life, incompatible yet both fighting for survival." The council erupted into heated debate. Some, like Salic, argued that this changed nothing. The Void Collective was still a threat that needed to be eliminated. Others saw the potential for a diplomatic solution, a way to end the war without further bloodshed. Zixnera, her iridescent skin reflecting the swirling holographic displays, finally raised her hand for silence. "Dr. Chen, in your opinion, is coexistence possible? Can we find a way to save both our galaxy and these refugees from another universe?" Samantha took a deep breath, feeling the weight of countless lives resting on her words. "I believe it's possible, Admiral, but it will require something unprecedented, a fundamental change in how we perceive the nature of life and existence itself." As the Council debated the path forward, Harper's team was making significant progress with the luminary resistance. They developed new technologies that could disrupt void terraforming efforts without destroying them, and strategies for communicating with the less fanatical elements of the Void Collective. But time was running out. The Void's transformation of conquered worlds was accelerating, and more radical factions within the Collective were pushing for all-out assault on the core worlds of the Confederation. In a daring move, Harper proposed a joint operation between Allied forces, the Luminary Resistance, and sympathetic factions within the Void Collective. Their target: the Void's central command structure, the linchpin holding their invasion together. As preparations for this final, decisive battle were made, Samantha found herself working closely with Xylvax and other luminary scientists. Together, they developed a radical new technology, a way to create stable pockets of space where matter and energy beings could coexist. "It's not a perfect solution," Samantha explained to the Council, "but it's a start, a way to show the Void Collective that there's an alternative to war and destruction." The final battle was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Matter and energy clashed in mind-bending ways as Allied ships, aided by luminary powers, engaged the main Void fleet. Harper, leading from the front as always, coordinated a multi-pronged assault that kept the enemy off balance. At the heart of the conflict, Samantha and a team of human and alien scientists raced against time to deploy their coexistence technology. If they could create a stable zone large enough, they might be able to convince the bulk of the Void forces to stand down. As the battle raged, with losses mounting on both sides, a pivotal moment arrived. Harper's forces had fought their way to the very heart of the Void command structure. There, they encountered the Void leadership, beings of terrifying power, their forms barely constrained by reality. In that moment, with weapons poised and the fate of multiple universes hanging in the balance, it was not force of arms that won the day, but the power of understanding and diplomacy. Samantha, her voice amplified by luminary technology, addressed the Void leaders directly. "We know why you're here," she said, her words resonating across the battlefield. "We know you're fighting for survival. But this path leads only to mutual destruction. We offer another way." As she explained the coexistence technology, the tide of battle slowly began to turn. More and more Void ships stood down, their leaders realizing that this offered a chance for true survival, not just a prolonged death. In the aftermath of the battle, as the first stable coexistence zones were established, the full impact of what had transpired began to sink in. The galaxy had not just been saved from destruction, it had been transformed. The introduction of energy-based life forms and the technology to allow their coexistence with matter-based life opened up entirely new frontiers of science and philosophy. Harper, standing with Samantha on the observation deck of the Celestial Harmony, watched as swirling patterns of Void and luminary energies danced among the stars. "You know," he said, a note of wonder in his voice, "when I joined this fight, I thought I understood what it meant to be human, to be alive. Now I'm not sure I understand anything." Samantha smiled, her eyes reflecting the cosmic dance before them. "That's the beauty of it, Jack. We've discovered that the universe is far more vast and varied than we ever imagined. And humanity, we're right at the forefront, ready to explore, to learn, to grow." As they stood there, watching the birth of a new era for the galaxy, both knew that the greatest adventures and challenges still lay ahead. Humanity had not just proven itself on the galactic stage. It had helped reshape the very nature of galactic civilization itself. The war was over, but the journey of discovery was just beginning. Triumph of the human spirit. In the years following the end of the Void War, the galaxy entered an unprecedented era of transformation and growth. The integration of matter-based and energy-based life forms led to scientific and cultural advancements that reshaped civilization on a cosmic scale. At the heart of this new galactic order stood humanity, their adaptability and innovative spirit, making them natural leaders in this brave new universe. Earth, once considered an unremarkable planet on the fringes of the galaxy, had become a shining beacon of progress and unity. The Global Resilience Academy, which had once trained humans to survive Earth's harshest environments, now hosted students from thousands of species, both matter and energy-based, all eager to learn the unique human approach to problem-solving and adaptation. Colonel Jack Harper, now General Harper, found himself at the helm of the newly formed Galactic Peacekeeping Force. This diverse organization, composed of beings from across the matter-energy spectrum, was tasked with maintaining the delicate balance of the new cosmic order. Dr. Samantha Chen had become a key figure in interspecies diplomacy and scientific research. Her work on matter-energy integration had earned her accolades across the galaxy, and she now led the prestigious Cosmic Understanding Initiative, dedicated to fostering cooperation and mutual growth between all forms of life. On a crisp autumn morning in New Geneva, Earth's capital and now the seat of the Galactic Council, Samantha stood before a vast audience of diplomats, scientists, and leaders from across the universe. The occasion was the 10-year anniversary of the end of the Void War, a time for reflection on how far they had come and the challenges that still lay ahead. Distinguished delegates, honored guests, Samantha began, her voice carrying easily across the assembly. A decade ago, we faced extinction. Not just humanity, not just the Galactic Confederation, but life as we knew it. The Void Collective, in their desperation to survive, nearly destroyed us all. She paused, letting the weight of those memories settle over the crowd. But in our darkest hour, we discovered something profound. We learned that the very diversity we once saw as a weakness was, in fact, our greatest strength. Humans, with our adaptability and tenacity, joined forces with the technological prowess of the Confederation and the cosmic understanding of the luminaries. Together, we didn't just survive, we forged a new path for life itself. As Samantha spoke, holographic displays shimmered to life around the auditorium, showcasing the marvels of the past decade. Images of matter-energy hybrid cities floated in space, where physical structures intertwined seamlessly with swirling patterns of sentient energy. Footage played of joint scientific expeditions to the farthest reaches of the universe, human ingenuity working in concert with alien technologies to unlock the deepest secrets of creation. But our journey is far from over. Samantha continued, her eyes scanning the diverse audience. Even now, we face new challenges. The integration of matter and energy-based life forms has opened up questions about the very nature of existence. We grapple with concepts of consciousness and reality that push the boundaries of our understanding. In the front row, General Harper nodded solemnly. He knew all too well the challenges that came with this new era. Just last month, his peacekeeping force had to mediate a conflict between a collective of energy beings and a planet of silicon-based life forms, each struggling to understand the other's concept of individuality and society. Samantha's voice took on a note of cautious optimism. Yet, it is precisely these challenges that drive us forward. Humanity has always thrived when pushed to its limits, and now we have the opportunity to push the limits of the entire universe. She gestured to a group of young students seated near the stage, a mix of humans, traditional aliens, and even a few swirling masses of sentient energy. Look at our youth. They grow up in a universe where the impossible is merely a problem waiting to be solved. They don't see barriers between species or forms of matter. They see potential collaborators, friends, and fellow explorers. As if on cue, one of the energy beings extended a tendril of light, playfully poking the young human girl. The girl giggled, her hand passing through the energy, as if trying to tickle it back. The simple interaction, broadcast on the holographic displays, brought smiles to faces across the auditorium. "This," Samantha said, her voice filled with wonder, "this is the triumph of the human spirit. Not that we alone solved the universe's problems, but that we helped create a galaxy where such interactions are not just possible, but commonplace. We faced our greatest threat and emerged not just victorious, but fundamentally changed for the better." As Samantha's speech continued, the scene shifted to various locations across Earth and beyond, showcasing the incredible progress of the past decade. In the Australian outback, where Harper had once learned the harsh lessons of survival, a matter-energy hybrid research station now stood. Here, scientists studied how to terraform inhospitable planets using a combination of traditional technology and energy manipulation, potentially opening up countless new worlds for colonization. The Himalayan peaks, once the ultimate challenge for human climbers, now hosted meditation retreats where physical and energy beings alike sought to explore the boundaries between different states of existence. The concept of consciousness itself was being redefined as humans, and their new allies delved into realms of thought and perception previously unimagined. Even the deep oceans, long considered Earth's final frontier, had become sites of incredible discovery. Void energy technology, once used for destruction, had been repurposed to create stable habitats at crushing depths. Here, aquatic species from across the galaxy joined Earth's marine life in vast underwater cities, each a testament to the new era of cooperation and mutual growth. Back in New Geneva, Samantha was concluding her speech. "As we look to the future," she said, her voice resonating with passion. We must remember the lessons of our past. The Void War taught us that even in the face of cosmic horror, hope and unity can prevail. It showed us that diversity is not just a strength, but a necessity for the continuation of life itself. She took a deep breath, her next words carrying the weight of a species that had come so far. Humanity's greatest gift to the universe has been our unyielding spirit, our ability to face the unknown with courage, creativity, and an unwavering belief that we can always find a way forward. This spirit has not just saved us. It has uplifted entire civilizations and reshaped the very fabric of reality. As Samantha finished her speech to thunderous applause, the holographic displays showed scenes from across the galaxy. On countless worlds, beings of all forms gathered to watch the broadcast, united in their appreciation for how far they had come and the pivotal role humanity had played. After the ceremony, Samantha found herself on a balcony overlooking the sprawling cityscape of New Geneva. The sky above was alive with the usual traffic of spacecraft and energy beings, a constant reminder of how much the world had changed. She was soon joined by General Harper, his uniform adorned with symbols representing dozens of alien cultures. "Quite a speech, Sam," Harper said, a hint of his old roguish smile playing on his lips. "You had them eating out of your hand." Samantha chuckled, shaking her head. "It's not about me, Jack. It's about all of us, what we've achieved together." Harper nodded, his expression growing serious. "True enough, but don't sell yourself short. Your work, your vision, it's been the cornerstone of everything we've built." They stood in companionable silence for a moment, watching the sun set over a world so familiar yet so alien compared to the Earth they had grown up on. "You know," Harper mused, "sometimes I wonder what our ancestors would think if they could see us now. Humanity, once confined to a single planet, now shaping the destiny of multiple universes." Samantha smiled, a faraway look in her eyes. "I think they'd be proud. Scared, maybe a little overwhelmed, but proud. We've taken their dreams of exploring the stars and expanded them beyond anything they could have imagined." As night fell, the sky came alive with a spectacular-like show, a harmonious dance of stars, spacecraft, and energy beings celebrating a decade of peace and progress. It was a vivid reminder of how far they had come and the infinite possibilities that lay ahead. "So, General," Samantha said, a twinkle in her eye, "ready for another decade of keeping the peace in this crazy, wonderful universe of ours?" Harper laughed, the sound full of joy and anticipation. "Always, Doctor. As long as humanity's out here pushing boundaries and solving impossible problems, I'll be right there making sure we don't accidentally unravel the fabric of reality." As they turned to head back inside, where a gala celebration awaited, both felt a profound sense of pride and purpose. Humanity had not just survived, it had thrived, bringing its unique spirit of innovation, adaptability, and unity to the cosmic stage. The challenges ahead were immense. The integration of matter and energy-based life was still in its early stages, and new discoveries constantly reshaped their understanding of the universe. Philosophical and ethical questions arose daily as they grappled with concepts that stretched the very definition of life and consciousness. But if the past decade had proven anything, it was that humanity, together with its diverse allies, was more than up to the task. The human spirit, that intangible quality that had driven them from cave-dwelling primates to shapers of galactic destiny, burned brighter than ever. As Samantha and Harper rejoined the celebration, surrounded by beings from across the spectrum of existence, the future stretched out before them, a future filled with endless possibilities, incredible discoveries, and the continued triumph of the human spirit. The story of humanity's rise from a single, unremarkable planet to a linchpin of cosmic civilization was far from over. In fact, it was clear that the greatest chapters were yet to be written. With each passing day, humans and their allies pushed further into the unknown, driven by an insatiable curiosity and an unshakable belief that together they could overcome any obstacle. The universe, in all its vast and wondrous complexity, had thrown its greatest challenge at humanity. And humanity, true to its nature, had not just survived. It had flourished, bringing hope, unity, and a spirit of endless possibility to the cosmic stage. As the celebration continued long into the night, one thing was certain. The triumph of the human spirit was not just a moment in time, but an ongoing journey. A journey that would continue to shape the destiny of life itself for eons to come.